Hello once again YouTube, Duke Nukem 2417 here with another My Thoughts On video. This one's going to go into further detail about the Ennard theory, so yeah, spoilers. Same spoiler warning plate as the last video, but I'm also going to be talking about my thoughts on Five Nights at Freddy's The Silver Eyes. Interestingly enough, the title of that book ties into my thoughts on the Ennard theory, but first, let's get to that Ennard theory, shall we? And just like last time, if you haven't played Five Nights at Freddy's Sister Location, or if you haven't reached one of the two endings, mute the audio now, and the spoiler warning plate thing will have the time mark for when you can unmute the audio. So yeah, about that Ennard theory. Everyone and their grandma seems to think that Ennard, after scooping Eggs Benedict and wearing him like a suit out of the building, somehow becomes the purple guy. Because, oh, lookity look, in the last shot when the thing opens its eyes, they're all purple. Ah! Okay, let me explain why that's a complete and total fallacy in regards to he's the purple guy. Again, going to Five Nights at Freddy's 3. Anytime you see Springtrap up close and you see his eyes, guess what color they are? Silver! Not friggin' purple, they're silver. Furthermore, I'm pretty sure that the style of eyeballs inside of Springtrap's head doesn't even match the kind of eyeballs that you see in Eggs Benedict when he looks in the mirror after being worn like a suit by Ennard. So yeah, that's another whole shot right through the Ennard is purple guy theory. But onto a different topic, which I mentioned at the beginning of this video, Five Nights at Freddy's The Silver Eyes. Now, the interesting thing about Five Nights at Freddy's The Silver Eyes is that this book is where we first heard the name of the individual who is 99% likely, or at the very least 95% likely, to be Purple Guy, William Afton. Now, he goes by another name, and spoilers for the book, by the way. If you haven't read Five Nights at Freddy's The Silver Eyes yet, what's wrong with you? Go read it now! At one point in the book, the main characters encounter a guy named Dave, working as a security guard at an abandoned shopping center that was built around Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. As it turns out, Dave is actually William Afton, 10 years later. Now, there's a lot of controversy about Five Nights at Freddy's The Silver Eyes. Scott Cawthon did say that the book was non-canon, but then he said it was canon, but it doesn't matter to the canon of the games. It's all very confusing stuff until you remember the tagline of the first teaser for Five Nights at Freddy's Sister Location. There was never just one. Does that mean there was never just one purple guy? Was it there was never just one Freddy Fazbear's Pizza? Who knows? But I mean, even if the book isn't canon, it is a very interesting and you have to also remember that this book was initially titled Five Nights at Freddy's The Untold Story. Now, it would have been really hard to market a book about the security guard, Mike Schmidt, Jeremy Fitzgerald, Fritz, whatever his last name was from Five Nights at Freddy's 2. Any of those guys just sitting around for 5 whole nights, doing nothing other than watching monitors, closing doors, putting on a Freddy head. That would have made for a very interesting yet difficult read. That's what the games are for. The book, instead, focuses on Charlotte and her friends. Now, another spoiler, Charlotte was actually in Five Nights at Freddy's 4. If you remember the part where you guide the crying child outside and there's a girl playing with some toys that look suspiciously similar to the toy animatronics from Five Nights at Freddy's 2, so similar, in fact, that Game Theory tried to claim that the entire series was a dream because the girl's figure of Chica had a removable beak. Oh, and toy Chica's beak was removable too, so the whole thing was a coma dream! Anyway, Charlotte does appear in Five Nights at Freddy's 4. The characters page for Five Nights at Freddy's on TV Tropes actually lists her and has a spoiler-linked pic of that girl from Five Nights at Freddy's 4. It's unknown whether the game version of Charlotte survived or not. She might have been one of the kids that got killed off by the purple guy. But I'm going to do another My Thoughts on video concerning a certain Easter egg in Five Nights at Freddy's Sister Location to possibly clarify things or possibly confuse them even more. Whatever the case, Charlotte is in the book. She's the main character of the book. Her father was one of the designers of the animatronics at Fredbear's Family Diner, and if there was never just one thing holds true, the first branch of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, the one that's featured in The Silver Eyes. Now, there's a lot of stuff in the book that's really incongruous with the games, but it's a very good book. Even if it doesn't match up to the games exactly, and even if it turns out that very little of it is canon, if any, you should definitely read Five Nights at Freddy's The Silver Eyes. And not just because the title holds a hint to how Springtrap and the purple guy have nothing in common with Ennard and Eggs Benedict, at least in my mind. So yeah, that's another My Thoughts on video in the bag. To sum it up, Springtrap got silver eyes, Ennard's got purple eyes. They're not the same. And Five Nights at Freddy's The Silver Eyes is an awesome book. If you haven't read it already, please do so as soon as possible. Thank you very much for watching. I will try to have something up before Halloween, some more Five Fights at Freddy's 2 stuff. I was going to do a trailer for Five Fights at Freddy's 2, but long and short, it didn't pan out. That just wasn't going to work. So, thank you very much for watching, and stay tuned for more. Cigarettes,